everyone. This is Dr. Renee Chasse, and thank you for listening to Pain Exchange, a monthly podcast from the International Association for the Study of Pain, highlighting global innovations in pain research and amplifying the voices of our diverse membership. One of the most interesting aspects of pain research and management is how interdisciplinary the field is. And as a part of IASP, I regularly get to talk to physical therapists, molecular scientists, anesthesiologists, and many more about what makes pain such a unique field of science. To address this vast array of topics, IASP offers members to be a part of a special interest group, or a SIG, where they can network, attend special webinars, and talk to other researchers and clinicians focusing on the same topic. One specific field that has always piqued my interest is the intersection between pain, aspects related to the mind, such as cognition, emotions, perception, and movement. And to help me learn more about the intricacies of that topic, I am delighted to introduce Anabela Silva from the University of Aveiro in Portugal and Felipe Reis from the Instituto Federal do Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, two members of IASP's Pain, Mind, and Movement Special Interest Group. Welcome, Anabela, and welcome, Felipe.
Hi, Renee. Thank you so much for having us. It is a really great pleasure to be here with you and Felipe. So I'm a professor at University of Aveiro in Portugal, and I was originally trained as a physical therapist. And later, when I pursued my PhD, and I did it in the UK, and it was during my doctoral studies that I became truly fascinated by pain research, which has since become a central focus of my academic and professional journey. And I've been teaching and researching pain for more than 15 years. I would say that my work has largely been centered on pain education and exercise, and on exploring different ways of effectively delivering these interventions to adolescents, adults, and older adults with pain. In recent years, my research has shifted more towards developing and evaluating digital interventions, especially for older adults. And these interventions try to integrate approaches that target both physical and cognitive aspects of health in general and pain in particular. And we have also been looking at the relationship between pain and cognition. Right now, we have this project that I am excited about because we are co-creating traditional and digital materials to deliver pain, science education, and exercise. And we are doing it in collaboration with older adults and a multidisciplinary team that includes health professions, but also designers and engineers. So this has been incredibly and a very exciting process, having all these people from different fields and particularly individuals with lived experience of pain has been immensely enriching. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing the outcomes out there and having the ability of sharing them with the community.
Hi, Renee. Hi, Anabela. It's nice to be here and to discuss the Pain, Mind, and Movement SIG. I'm Felipe. I'm from Brazil. I'm physical therapist in my background. I've been working with pain research for more than 15 years, as Anabela said. The main field that I'm interested in is related to the interactions between cognition, emotion, and behavior. But I'm also interested to investigate the education process, especially how the graduate students are trained in pain, especially their curriculum. And in the last 5 years, I also graduated myself as a data scientist and artificial intelligence. And in the last 5 years, I've been working with artificial intelligence and data science using all the great methods that we have to investigate specific topics of pain. In the last year, I've been elected as a counselor of the Latin America and Caribbean to work with the executive board of the IASP. So it's great to be here and to discuss pain and also to promote the IASP and its role in the field of pain. So thank you for having us today.
Of course, of course. So since we're going to be kind of talking about the Pain, Mind, and Movement special interest group that you guys are kind of spearheading, how are these three concepts kind of connected, like pain, mind, and movement?
I would say that our SIGs name reflects what we currently know in terms of how complex pain is and how it is influenced by, and also in turn influences what we think, we believe, and feel, as well as we move. We know that pain changes the amount of movement, the quality, and the willingness to move. In our research, we often see a combination of beliefs about pain. People have their own beliefs about why they are in pain and why pain does not go away. And pain also impacts how they feel, particularly when it prevents them or makes it more difficult to conduct daily life activities. And it's not just about what pain means right now, but also about pain means in terms of implications for the future. So they worry about what pain will prevent them from achieving and from doing in the future. These thoughts and feelings, they influence each other and link directly to what people with lived experience or pain do or do not do. And in particular, many people also hold specific beliefs about movement and about exercise, particularly concerning about whether they should move or exercise when this increases their pain. And we now know that movement, physical activity, and exercise, they are really important in helping people manage their pain. But because movement sometimes provokes pain and makes pain worse, people tend to avoid certain movements, and this makes the whole experience of pain even more bigger and makes it even more difficult to, in the future, engage in daily activities. And if we look at movement from a more broad perspective, movement as this fundamental capacity that enables us to interact with the environment and with others and express ourselves, and a means to fulfill our needs and our ability to participate as active members in the society. When we look at movement from this perspective, it becomes even more clear that thoughts and feelings about pain can reflect on movement interactions and on pain and vice versa. So this is a very complex and a reciprocal interplay between pain, movement, and the mind. And I think our SIGs name highlights this multidimensional and complex nature of pain.
Yes, I totally agree. It's difficult to split pain and also mind, and also how it impacts in a movement, especially when we consider the phylogenetic role of pain to act as an alarm system of our body to tell us that something's wrong is happening in our body. So how people understand pain and how people deal with pain can be very, very important in their lives, especially considering the impact in daily activity living. So I understand that pain, mind, and movement are connected, and it's difficult to split them.
Nice. And so you guys are physical therapists, which are very core in the movement part. But how could we also connect the mind into clinical practice for pain management?
I think that we deal especially with patients that have different types or different beliefs about their pain, especially considering that something very, very bad is happening and sometimes not. And they usually avoid some activities, especially some very, very simple activities like climbing stairs and also bending forward. So I think that we deal with a lot of different aspects of beliefs. And one whole of the physical therapist is try to expose these patients to movements that they are afraid of, and also to explain that some beliefs are not correct, but not to confront the patients, but also to present the other side of thinking. So I think that in our clinical practice, most of physical therapy deal with patients or in this perspective.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Philip said. So if we are aware that these three main components and are interconnected and how they influence each other, then we can assess them in clinical practice. And we can do this using simple means like asking people, individuals with pain, about their thoughts related to pain. For example, if we try and grasp the patient's perspective, how they are perceived to be influencing each other from the patient's perspective. For example, why they think they are in pain, what they see as influencing their pain, making it worse or making it better, and how they see all these feelings and thoughts influencing their behavior, and in particular, how they relate to movement and activity. And if we are aware of those thoughts and of those feelings, then we can present an alternative way of explaining pain, and we can also help the individual with pain seeing it in a different perspective. For example, one of the things that we see most commonly is people being afraid of movement because they believe that doing it makes them worse. And we know it's the opposite. But unless we have grasped what people think about exercise and movement and pain, we won't be able to address it in clinical practice. So we really have to not forget to assess the patient's perspective and then use it to influence our strategies in terms of clinical practice.
Awesome. And so kind of taking those patients' thoughts and perceptions about what causes their pain, what do you think the most intriguing questions or therapies that are being developed? What do you think the most interesting things in your field are right now?
I think that before we explore this topic, Anabela said about the education process that the healthcare professionals are responsible to. I think that all the patients, not most, but all the patients want to know what's happening in their body. So why they don't get better of their pain. And the healthcare professional, they have a specific role to explain the correct message to patients and not to make these patients more afraid of movement and also more afraid of something wrong or something very, very bad is happening in their body. So the whole of healthcare professional are very, very important in clinical practice.
Yes, I would say that listening to is really very important. We really need to listen to the patients, because if we don't know what they think, then we cannot help them find alternative ways of looking at pain and at what it means. So listening to is really key as a means to get to the person and to know how to work and the way through and how to help the individual. And our SIG is much about also helping clinicians access the research, and it also helps translate what is done in research into clinical practice, into ways that clinicians can more easily access information and see how they can then use it in clinical practice.
So do you see your SIG as also informing clinicians of how they should be handling their patients, or how they should be listening to their patients too?
Yes, we are very aware of this topic, and our SIG usually try to cover this topic. In 2022, during the World Congress in Toronto, we had a clinical workshop trying to present how can we listen our patients and how can we validate their complaints about pain and also everything that patients say. So I think that listening is very important, but also the validation process is also very important. So our SIG is trying to connect all these topics, pain, mind, and movement, and how we can improve our clinical practice. So during our SIG meeting that we usually have in before the World Congress, we try to explore these topics, and also we try to include some clinical workshops, especially developed for clinicians.
Nice. And so, since you're kind of bridging that how clinicians can access research gap, what do you think the most intriguing research is going on right now? And what can clinicians kind of look forward to bringing to their patients?
That's a really difficult question because there is so much going on and so much really exciting stuff that is being done. But maybe if I had to choose, I would choose something around how can we be more effective at using movements, thoughts, and emotions to prevent and manage pain. And this is really close to my heart. Being a physical therapist, one of our main aims is really to help people moving better and being more functional. And this is really, really, really important. But at the same time, this is a very broad question because it encompasses numerous challenges. It encompasses the processes and the mechanisms through which these factors can influence the experience of pain, how they interact, how treatment parameters influence outcomes. So there is a lot to be done, but we really have something here that we need to target because we know that movement and looking at thoughts and emotions really are really helpful in terms of getting people to feel better, but we are still far from delivering the outcomes we aspire to. So this is something that we really need to look in so many different perspectives. So we clearly have a lot of work to do.
Yes, I agree, Anabela. And in my perspective, I think that most studies that we have, the literature, come from developing countries. So I think that considering that pain, it's a healthcare, it's a health problem in the world. I think that the most challenging thing is to cover the cultural aspects and how to deal with specific things that we have in different countries, considering the cultural aspects, but also other specific aspects that the country has. So thinking about pain in a broad perspective, not only in our clinical practice, I think that working with pain is challenging. When you look, for example, some countries in Africa or some countries in South America, also Brazil here, it's a huge country and people don't have access to healthcare system. So it's very difficult to think how can we take care of these patients.
Exactly. And so your specific SIG, since you're dealing more with movement rather than like pharmacological techniques, I would assume that your focus is a little bit more suited to management in those developing countries that may not have access to things like that. Is that what you've found to be the case?
Yes, but also we can consider that, for example, exercise is not allowed for women in some cultures. So I think that, for example, it's quite easy for us to say, okay, to treat your pain, you need to move more, you need to do exercise. But in some cultures that women cannot do exercise, or also they are not used to do exercise. So it can be very challenging.
Wow, I didn't even think of that kind of factor. So that's very interesting. So what exactly is being in a special interest group like? When did you guys join the SIG? What made you think about joining, becoming leadership, that kind of thing?
Well, I joined the SIG in 2018. And since then, I've been in multiple roles within the SIG. I've been secretary, I've been elected chair, and now I'm the chair. But what I found was that being in a SIG was really an opportunity and a privilege. An opportunity because it's a smaller community within this broader IASP network. And we are able to easily find people that share the same interests and have the similar challenges and similar questions. So it's really great for discussions. And it also makes it easier to connect with people from all over the world. I've met people from literally all over the world. And being part of a SIG is also an opportunity to engage in multiple activities and multiple initiatives that the SIG promotes. For example, we have organized a number of free workshops and webinars. The last two webinars, one was on the social dimensions of pain. It was co-hosted with the SIG on social aspects of pain. And the other one was on virtual reality for chronic pain management. So really two exciting themes. In 2025, we have launched the Best Pain Mind and Movement Publication Award for younger researchers. And winners received a monetary prize and also had the opportunity to present their work in another webinar. So we will be actually launching the second edition early 2026. So we encourage everyone to submit their work. During World Congress years, we organize satellite symposiums, usually in the same venue and the day before the main event. I can unveil a few details of the satellite symposium. It will be about pain phenotype and pain science education and behavioral change. And we will have very well-known keynote speakers and practical workshops, and also the opportunity for the SIG members to present their work in flash talks. So we will be opening a call for members to submit their work. So a lot of opportunities coming in the near future.
Yeah. So will people have to be a member of the SIG to get that poster award to attend the talk?
Well, not to attend the talk. Everyone can attend the webinars and the satellite symposium. But in order to be able to apply for the prizes, yes, only members can apply for the prize and for the presentations at the satellite symposium.
Perfect. And so where is the satellite symposium? Is it going to be online? Is it going to be hybrid?
It is going to be presential on the day before the World Congress begins. So we are looking forward to meet people in Thailand in 2026.
Yes. I'm so excited to meet both of you there. So what do you kind of expect to come out of the SIG prior to Congress? Do you have any more webinars planned other than the satellite symposia? Anything else kind of happening?
We are now looking at our activities for the next year, and we probably are going to have a new webinar in addition to this webinar for the award winners. And that is what I can't, what I know for sure that will probably happen in the next year.
And Felipe, you had a big role in the SIG in previous years, right?
Yes. So I was the chair since 2018 to 2024. Anabela, I had the opportunity to work with Anabela in the board. But I can say that being part of the SIG is the opportunity to have a lot of different types of connections with members of the SIG. So the opportunity to connect with the other and connecting and to build a network, it's great. Our SIG has a specific characteristic. We try to stimulate our members to submit their work to present in our satellite meeting. So it's not used to see in the other SIGs, but our program, sometimes we have only 2 keynote speakers, and the whole of the rest of the program is built with our members. Some PhD students or clinicians trying to present and also submitting their work, and if approved, the opportunity to present their work. And our SIG also give to our members a scholarship to attend to the World Congress. So it's also a great opportunity to our members.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So there's a ton of benefits to actually being in a SIG rather than just being a broad IASP member. So again, you guys are both physical therapists, but what other professions do you see joining your SIG?
We have people from a lot of different areas. We have psychologists, we have clinicians and researchers, not only researchers. A lot of our members are clinicians. We have medical doctors from different specialties. And these are probably the core of our group. We have students, PhD students, and also people with tons of experience in the field. So there are really different profiles in terms of people that are really interested in pain.
We also have, yes, PTs, but also have OTs, like to add another profession. We have doctors, we have OTs, we have PTs, we have psychologists.
Perfect. Okay, so what is a goal you guys have for the next 5 years of Pain, Mind, and Movement? The SIG, the field, anything. What do you hope to see?
Narrowing the goals to one is really a challenge. But what we have been talking in our meetings lately is really this need to increase engagement, because only if we have a lot of people looking at the same thing and with a collective effort, can we really move the field forward? So I probably would say that what I really would like to see is this increased engagement to improve research on pain, mind, and movement, and also announce the translation of what we do in into clinical practice, so that clinicians and researchers and people with lived experience actively contribute to really shaping the evidence base and ensuring that it's really meaningfully applied in real world care, so that it really makes a difference.
Yes, I think that it's really good to see what Anabela is doing with our SIG and everything that's moving forward. The main thing that we always discuss in our meeting is how can we improve the integration, the discussions with our members, how can we improve their engagement. So all the time we are discussing how can we connect people. I think that for the next 5 years, we are making all the efforts to people being together and increase the discussions and talk to each other. So we are always trying to looking for some methods to increase that.
That is really important, and it really is at the core of all the activities that we do. Is how do we bring people together and increase and facilitate networking? Because only if more people know what everyone else is doing can we transform this into a collective effort where we tend to help each other and then move the forward and push the field forward.
Right, exactly. Because we're all working towards one goal. But yeah, it's very cool to see how many different professions are doing this very, very differently, but also how they can kind of come together and work together. And I know that SIGs are a really big part of that. I know a lot of collaborations have come out of SIGs. Do you know of any like big collaborations that have happened between members of your SIG?
We know that a lot of people collaborate. Both of us, for example, we have collaborated on a number of things after we met each other in the SIG, and I know that have happened with a lot of other people also.
I think that the SIG is an opportunity to present your work, so people start to know what you do. So sometimes, okay, I'm doing the quite same, so we can try to do something together. So I think that's a good opportunity to talk. So this is why we are trying to connect people and bring all of them together, because we are trying to find this kind of people that are doing something quite the same and trying to make them collaborate with each other.
Nice. So what was your collaboration? Tell me about it.
We have collaborated on, for example, a presentation for the World Congress in Physiotherapy. We have put together this workshop on digital tools for pain management, something around these lines. We have collaborated and in a few research proposals that did not get through, though, but we did. What am I missing, Philip?
A conference that we had you in Brazil.
Oh, yes.
So we had an opportunity to have Anabela here in Brazil in a national conference. This presentation that we had in the World Physio Conference, it was in Dubai, but the most interesting thing that the other person was Rumi Parker. She was also the past chair of the SIG. So 3 of us were the chair of the SIG.
Oh, lovely. And that talk was on the digital.
Yes,
it was on the digital pain management. I talked about actually how health professionals can help fine-tune digital solutions and how important they are when developing the digital tools, because we have the know-how about the content and about people in pain. So we can help designers and engineers and all the other professionals involved. Romy talked about how they used a specific digital intervention for people in pain in South Africa. And Philip, you talk about artificial intelligence and how important it was. Maybe you can develop that.
Yes. I talked about the concepts of artificial intelligence and the potential of artificial intelligence to be used in pain.
Yeah. And it seems like a great use of it because, as you said, Anabela, before, you really need to listen to the specific person and listen to them and what's going to help them, how they think about their pain, and seems to help a personalized approach to pain management. Is that kind of where the field is going?
Yes, we have different opportunities and challenges to use AI in the pain field. But we can use, for example, AI to take some notes when the patient is talking about their pain. During the interview, we can use artificial intelligence to transcribe all the things. So we don't need to take any notes. Just let the artificial intelligence to do the work. We can also develop some personalized treatment plans. So it's still developing, but we have different challenges, especially regarding to data security, ethical aspects. So we need to overcome some challenges to improve artificial intelligence and make it useful in clinical practice.
Yes, I completely agree. This week, I actually had this co-creation workshop with a group of older people because we are putting together videos of exercises so that they can use them at home. And we experimented producing images of the exercises being performed, and we recorded one person doing it, a physio, and we used AI to also develop the images. And we asked them, which one would you prefer? And they preferred the person. They all agreed that they felt, well, that person kind of relates more to us, and the face, the look in the face, and how they do the exercise. And it was quite interesting because we were looking at an easier way to do the videos, but they did prefer the person, and I found it quite interesting. So there are a few challenges that we still face.
Awesome. Well, that is all the questions I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. Is there anything else you want to kind of say as a little closing thought about your SIG, the field?
Thank you so much, Renee, for having us and for this opportunity to talk about our SIG and what is being done by all the board members and all the members in the SIG. And I would take this opportunity to invite everyone, and particularly our SIG members, to let us know about any ideas and any comments that they have to help us improve and do more and do better. And if they feel they have the time to say hi and to join us and maybe have a more active role within the board and help us bring everyone together.
I would say thank you, Renee, for having us today. And for those who are listening, thank you for listening to us today as well. I would invite people to join us, to join our SIG. And if you have any questions, we are very happy to answer them and connect with us. We are very receptive for new members, and also for members that want to jump in and also to work with us. Of course, we need people to work in our SIG. So if you have any questions, we are happy to answer them. Thank you.